Hello guys, it's Teenage DC Fan back in another video, and the legend search for the Loom of Fate continues this week, and the quest sends Constantine and Zari, one of the weirdest team-ups I've ever seen, but, I kind of liked it. But they went back in time to a hotel booked with evil Encores, and, not just one or two, there was, six, at least six there, I don't know. So they decided to go undercover for a bit here. Because they're trying to get the final ring, so they can bring together the Loom of Fate and then bring back Bayrod and then save Astra's mother. Because they both have a common goal. That's why the team up did make sense, because they both need the Loom of Fate for their own personal reasons. But just a quick warning: this video does contain spoilers for the latest episode of DC's Legends of Tomorrow, The Great British Fake Off. So, we get some truly fresh twists in the mission to recover the 3 rings that make up the Loom of Fate, which Constantine plans to use to bring back Astra's late mother, along with the recently deceased Legend team member Bayrod, like I already mentioned. But the team now has 2 of the rings, but Charlie reveals that the final ring was hidden by an ancient sorceress for her. So, it sounds like it's going to be a bit hard to find, but Constantine casts a spell to track it down, and nearly has it, but falls into a portal along with Zari while trying to grab it, and the portal drops them back in time, where they're greeted by a whole host of Encores, who have also been sent down to Earth to track down the ring. And it turns out the reason they can't find the ring is that they're looking for it, as Constantine figures out. It's a twist on the magic to hide the ring. Basically, you have to not be looking for it or thinking about it to actually find it. So it didn't really make sense, but, it makes sense in a way, I guess. So instead of trying to fight a house full of hell's worst killers while trying not to search for the ring, Constantine knocks out Jack the Ripper and takes his place at the table, while Zari plays dress-up as Cleopatra to get in on the ruse. And, it actually kind of works for a while until, right at the end of the episode, when the real Jack the Ripper is discovered and the Encores turn on Constantine. But thankfully, Zari taps into her totem powers just in time to save the day, and she helps free Constantine and almost kisses the master of the dark arts in the heat of the moment, which was crazy because throughout this episode, they kept having these moments, and I was like, are they starting a romance between these two? And then every time I would be like, no, she's probably going to end up with Nate like the original version did. I feel like that would kind of just be weird if she was with Constantine, because I feel like this is developing more of like the kind of relationship he has with Astra, kind of like a father-daughter relationship or like a brother-sister relationship. But then they almost kissed, and I was like, that's a little kinky for a brother-sister relationship. So I don't really know what's going on here, but that near kiss distracts Constantine enough that he manages to spot the ring across the room. And yeah, they found it. But the rest of the team has to head into hell to figure out what's going on with all the Encores, and that's where they make an interesting discovery, because it turns out Charlie's fateful sisters have been playing a few sides of the story here. So remember the mysterious woman in hell who raised Astra and has been pulling the strings down there? Well, in the last episode, we found out that she's the third fate, and she's been grooming Astra to take Charlie's place among the fates once they recover the rings for themselves. But instead of going along with that plan, though, Astra joins up with the Legends and heads topside to the world of the living to help them find the Loom, so Constantine can bring her mother back to life, and Zari can get her brother back. So yeah, it's a bit twisty here. But throughout all this chaos, Sarah is very sidelined here, because at the beginning of the episode, when they were doing the spell with Constantine to try and find the final ring, she just passed out and fell unconscious mysteriously. And this presumably has something to do with her surviving that direct blast of godlike power from Charlie's sister last week when she saw her true form. But this leaves Ava in charge of the legends and running the show, which, of course, is always fun. And on a side note here, we know the OG version of Zari had a thing for Nate, but this is kind of back to the Constantine Zari thing, but could they be setting up a bit of a love triangle here between Nate, Zari, and Constantine? Because Nate still likes Zari because he doesn't care which version of Zari it is. He's in love with her. But I don't know what's going on with Constantine. So I guess they're setting up a love triangle, maybe. Or was this just one of those Constantine is sexy to everyone kind of moments that'll get largely forgotten an episode or two down the line? I mean, it's hard to say at this point, because honestly, Constantine is like that with pretty much everybody, but it felt a little different here. But also a little weird, because it was starting to feel like a brother-sister relationship, kind of. Like they were a great sibling duo. And then it started to get kinky, and I was like, uh-oh. Yeah. But it also seems the Astra will be along for this ride, at least to wrap up the loom hunt, though Constantine seemed plenty shocked by that turn of events when he found her on board the Wave Rider. So I don't know if this is a good thing, I don't know if it's a bad thing, but Astra's joining the team. I don't know if this is going to be a permanent thing either. Maybe she'll just stick around until she can get the loom and get her mother back, and then maybe once that happens, maybe she'll just go off and live with her mother or something. But it'll be interesting to see how she works with the team, because so far we've pretty much just seen her either working alone or working with the loom coin lady. So yeah, but this season is definitely starting to wrap up here. There's not many episodes left. I don't really know how many episodes exactly. Because I believe this show actually got to finish filming the whole season, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But if they did, then they should still have the regular amount of episodes. But that would still be less episodes than all the other shows, because, that's why it started after the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover event, so that's why it's shorter. But, like I said, I don't know how many more episodes. I don't know if the virus affected it at all, really. But I'm hoping that we get through this whole season and get this whole storyline wrapped up here. But another good thing that came out of this whole adventure, with Constantine and Zari fighting a bunch of Encores, now the team has plenty of new hell weapons, including some guns. So, of course, those will no doubt come in handy down the line. So if any more Encores attack, which will probably happen because the Coin Lady and Atropos now have all the coins, so they can bring in the Encores whenever they want. So it's good to have all these new weapons now. And I actually really liked the Encores in this episode because they were all so different. The main ones were Bonnie and Clyde. I really like the way they were portrayed here. We also had, of course, Jack the Ripper. He was the first one to show up, and then he was one of the last ones to die. There was also this pirate dude. I don't really remember his name. I think it was like Black. It was Black something. Captain Black something. I don't really know. Then there was like King. I don't know. There was some fat dude from the Renaissance. There was like Brutus. They called him Brutus. He looked like Julius Caesar. So I think he has something to do with him. He's from that time period. But yeah, I just really like the way that the Encores were portrayed in this episode. And I look forward to seeing more Encores show up in the future and the rest of this season. Like maybe we'll see Vandal Savage show up again somewhere, because he was actually name dropped in this episode. So maybe we'll see him come back. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, that is pretty much what happened in this episode of DC's Legends of Tomorrow. But next week we will see Rory. Mick, he's bringing his daughter to work on the next mission, so bring your daughter to work day. So that will surely go well. I mean, probably not. It's probably going to cause a lot of problems, but I mean, the Legends run into a lot of problems even without Mick's daughter, and even without Mick sometimes. So, I mean, like, they always run into a problem like every episode. So that's going to be nothing new. But yeah, so what did you guys think about this episode? What did you think about all the different encores that we saw, and Constantine being Jack the Ripper and all that cool stuff? So please let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And hope to see you in the next video, so I can bestow all Midi's knowledge upon you.